Alright, so I was planning on doing this video very, very differently. I was planning on doing it, more high-end, kind of do like some B-roll and fancy shit. But this thing, I just got it in the mail. It's the Razer Stargazer. Well, I wouldn't say just got it. I got it a few hours ago. And it's the worst piece of shit I've ever fucking worked with, ever. Like, period. Opened it up, was like, man, this thing actually looks pretty good. Like, it's pretty fucking heavy. Like, it's got pretty good build quality. Everything on it looks nice. It's got a detachable USB 3 cable, which is pretty fucking beefy if you ask me. I thought that was pretty awesome. I was like expecting greatness, and then I plugged it in. Sorry, this is just gonna be literally off the top of my head just because I can't deal with this camera. It's definitely going back. Like, I just want to do this video so that way nobody else wastes their money on this fucking thing. But yeah. If you guys don't know what this camera is, it's a 3D sensing camera, so that way, like, say, if I was far enough away from this background, it can sense the shape of me in my chair, and it would only cut that out. It'd basically do a green screen effect, so I wouldn't need a green screen or anything like that. You wouldn't need a green screen with that, and that's pretty fucking awesome, right? Except, for one, that only works in XSplit. It does not work in OBS at all. And I'm not paying for XSplit just to fucking get a green screen feature when I have a green screen. That's just fucking insane. Then I was trying to install drivers for it. When you first plug it in, it does not want to recognize it at all. It doesn't even recognize it as a USB camera. At least for me, it didn't. I also have a lot of USB devices, so I thought, okay, maybe I'm just overloading the USB for it. Took everything, unplugged everything. Like, literally everything. Only plugged this in, and it still wouldn't detect. So I went, okay, started screwing around with some things, tried to download the Intel Sense driver, which there's no mention of at all in the fucking user guide. Like, at all. You gotta go to Razer's support page to even find out where to download it, and it doesn't really give you that much instruction on it. So I tried to install that. That will not install unless it's detecting a camera already, which it was not because it failed to read any kind of USB input from this thing. Then I tried to do some stuff with the Razer Synapse. Razer Synapse was pulling up the camera, showing that it sees it, but it wasn't giving me any kind of video feed. The only thing I could find in the drivers that it actually installed a driver for that was the audio. So the microphones were picking up on this, but that was it. There was no video, nothing like that. So I went, completely uninstalled the Synapse program, restarted the computer, everything like that, made sure that the webcam wasn't plugged in, plugged it in, and finally read it as the Intel SR 300, I think it is, RealSense camera, which is what this thing is based on. It's kind of what it's supposed to read, but it's supposed to read it specifically as a Stargazer, not just a generic Intel RealSense camera or whatever. So I finally got that working. I got the Intel drivers, the RealSense drivers that I downloaded before. Ran through that installation. It finally let me go through the installation because it was detecting the camera. It did have to update some of the drivers for it, so I updated that. And yay, the fucking camera was finally working. Like, it was showing up in OBS. It was fucking awesome. But then I kept trying to, like, mess with it and configure it. For one, you cannot have Synapse open at all. Like, Synapse just fucking completely causes this thing to freeze out to where I couldn't use it at all. So I uninstalled Synapse for a little while, just screwing around with some things, trying to get it to work. If you mess with too many of the settings with the RealSense properties, it causes the camera to completely just lose it and cut out. And the only way to get the camera back is to completely restart your computer. I tried to do a couple test recordings and just nothing wanted to work. I really don't know if I got like a really fucking defective camera or just it's that bad. But as far as like me looking at support and everything, it just that bad. And then I finally, like I said, once I finally got it working and I was messing with some settings and everything, I really wanted to use this instead of the Logitech that I had now because it did, I heard that it did 60 frames per second. It does in 720p. Didn't know that. I thought it did it in 1080p. But I was like, you know what? It's a webcam. It's normally smaller and everything. I can deal with 720p, 60 FPS. And the reason why I wanted that is because obviously I can't use the RealSense shit with OBS, but I could still use chroma key. And if you had a 60 FPS camera with chroma key, it wouldn't have like the weird little like jitters and stuff like that. That was my thought. I cannot get this thing to enable 60 FPS in OBS at all whatsoever. There is no like software that I can use to like configure the camera. Basically, I was just going into OBS's features, property management for the webcam, and trying to like screw with that there. And it didn't even give me an option for 60 FPS. It gave me highest FPS, but it did not change anything between that setting and the 30 FPS. So yeah, this camera is a complete and total fucking piece of turd. And I'll be sending it back because I don't fucking want it. Oh, and by the way, when I finally did get it working, the picture quality looked like shit compared to this camera. And I fucking hate this camera because it does some weird shit sometimes. But it obviously works way better. So, yeah, there's my little rant about the Razer Stargazer fucking camera. Yeah. Alright, I think I'm done here. Check out this video if you guys want to see more shit from me. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time.